Arknights!
Executor is a 5-star spread shooter sniper. He released alongside Magellan and Vermeil in the Frozen Land banner during the Operational Intelligence event, but is now available through either kernel headhunting or recruitment, using the tags Senior Operator, Ranged, AoE, and Sniper. Executor, real name Federico Giallo, has 5 years of combat experience, likely coming from his time working as an executor for Laterano's Notarial Hall. He stands 181 centimeters tall, was born on the 7th of July in Laterano, and is of the Sancta race. In his archive files and promotion record, it's noted that the Laterano Notarial Hall serves as one of the official organs of Laterano state power, responsible for both imposing legal obligations on its citizens and guaranteeing the rights and benefits of Laterano citizenship. Its duties encompass the management of estate property, child rearing and guardianship, and the execution of notarized contracts, requiring a diverse and uniquely skilled staff to carry out its functions. Civil servants, known as executors, are dispatched to various city-states to supervise, execute, and oversee these official functions on behalf of the Hall. Operator-Executor is one such employee carrying out the will of the Laterano Notarial Hall wherever they're assigned. Upon first interaction, the records and commissions of Executor appear quite ordinary, detailing routine tasks such as property transfers, contract enforcement, and monetary disbursements typical of a low-level bureaucrat. Closer examination, however, reveals the true nature of these assignments. A single property delivery resulted in the deaths of 41 non-Laterano citizens, a contract enforcement saw 6 civilian buildings damaged, and another nearly triggered a full-scale war. The majority of Executor's mission record follows this pattern, with tasks that read as mundane formalities concealing operations of considerable complexity and consequence. It's clear that the Notarial Hall reserves its executors for only the most challenging of missions. Executor is a man of few words who rarely smiles, and while some at Rhodes Island have questioned his common sense, Human Resources does not accept such unscientific assessments. He himself has clarified that his difficulty lies not in understanding facts, but in grasping the meaning others assign to them, a trait researchers attribute to a mechanical absorption of information rather than any psychopathic tendency. Speculation about his nature runs rampant among operators, with some going as far as to suggest that he is a humanoid robot sent by Closure, a claim Closure denies while nonetheless sharing doubts about his humanity. Executor himself has never responded to the rumors, silently accepting and completing whatever tasks he is given, putting his notarial duties above all else, and decisively eliminating every obstacle in his path. Executor gave an operator known as LAO an impression that Laterano's laws exist as something beyond mere written statutes, with the Notarial Hall and its executor serving as proof that Laterano treats its responsibilities to citizens as a binding contract. The adherence of the Laterano people to their law runs deeper than any executor's power to instill through force alone, though that force is considerable, as Executor was recently observed tearing out the aorta of a vicious beast with his bare hands. Beyond its few lawyers, executors, wandering judges, and the Pope himself, Laterano's true authority seems to stem from some higher, imperceptible order of law, leading the author to conclude that executors are less a piece of the legal apparatus and more the physical manifestation of the law itself. What troubles the author most is Executor's cryptic reference to the statute that takes effect once a shot is fired. A statement that even left Callicet at a rare loss for words, and one that suggested this higher law may be something far stranger than anyone at Rhodes Island is prepared to understand. A recording is played of a conversation that was overheard in an engineering operator's dormitory that reveals that one of the operator's enthusiasm for pursuing Executor was met with unanimous warnings from her dorm mates, all of whom had apparently attempted the same and failed. Despite her insistence on the power of love and her dismissal of their concerns, she quickly discovered that every single one of her dorm mates had already tried their luck with Executor, whether over drinks or during a particularly impressive display of technical skill. Each of them had given up after encountering his fundamental indifference to intimacy and his relentlessly glass-half-empty disposition. The aspiring pursuer was left to grapple with the revelation that she was, somehow, the last one in the dormitory to have made the attempt. Executor is confirmed to be non-infected. He has a cell originum assimilation of 0% and a blood originum crystal density of 0.13 parts per liter. The notes in his medical file ask if there's any research that has been done on interpersonal relationships and crystal density. In his character art drawn by Skade, Executor wears a high-collared white and black jacket with multiple buttons down the middle. Underneath a white cloak with orange straps on the arms, a black bandolier with orange straps slung over his shoulder that has multiple pouches and shotgun shells, black pants, an ID badge on his right shoulder, black fingerless gloves, black combat boots, black bag that is slung over his bandolier with glow sticks and a radio sticking out of it, and a pelican case to his left. He holds his lever-action shotgun that looks very similar to a Winchester 1887 in his right hand. In his voice lines, voiced by Takashi Kondo, who also voices Devroy Linker, Mui, and Findor Karius in Bleach, Kid in Gurren Lagann, Suigetsu Hozuki and Indra Otsuki in Naruto, Hibiki Late in Fairy Tail, Hayato Hayama in Origaiu, Samson in Skullgirls, Nahan in Granblue Fantasy, Faust in Potemkin in Guilty Gear, Terry Bogard in King of Fighters, Ororon in Genshin, and Infinite in Sonic Forces. Executor often talks of order and Laterano.
私はラテラーノの中帝交渉人役場で外回りを担当しているので、実際ラテラーノで過ごす時間は多くありません。国外でも公民の権利は保障されるということで私が出向くのですが、聖者の相手をするよりも見届け人として死と向き合うことの方が多いですね。ロドスにも銃を扱うサンクタ人はいるようですが、私とは違います。彼らは禁止令により同族に銃口を向けませんが、私は必要とあれば相手が同族であってもためらわずに引き金を引きます。とはいえ、今のところこの拳でなんとかなっているので、そんな必要もありませんが、交渉人役場のことは気にしないでください。ロドスと私の協定が規則に反していない以上、彼らは口出しはしません。ところで、ドクターも交渉人役場の仕事には向いていると思いますが、いかがでしょう。ラテラーノ公民でなくても歓迎されますよ。秘密裏のいざこざは公になっているものより多く、混乱は安定よりも多い。出会い頭に武器を向けてくる者は、心を開いてくれる者よりも多い。まあ、気にするほどのことではありません。依頼とあらば何でもやり遂げます。死者のために聖者を始末するも、聖者のために命を奪うも同じです。変人扱いされるのには慣れています。確かに私は他人をあまり理解できませんし、深い付き合いも苦手です。ですが、このようにドクターと談話するのは悪くありません。あなたも同僚たちも、生き方だけで私を否定することはしないので、気楽に話せます。本当に感謝しています。
At E2 level 80 with max trust, potential, and module, Executor has 2,330 HP, 866 attack, 185 defense, 0 resistance, a 66-second redeploy time, 29 DP cost, and has a 2.2 second attack speed. His range is the standard range for spread shooter snipers. At max trust, he gains plus 65 attack. At max pot, he gains minus 2 DP cost, minus 4 seconds to redeploy, plus 29 attack, and a buff to his talent. His talent, Final Modification, has his attacks ignore 175 defense. Executor has 2 base skills, with one being unlocked at E2. His first base skill, Sniper Expert Alpha, makes it so that, when he's assigned as the trainer in the training room, Sniper Ops have plus 30% mastery speed. His second base skill, Cleaning Agreement, makes it so that when he's assigned to the control center, all operators in the control center gain plus 0.5 morale per hour. Executor's first skill, Muzzle's Elegy, gains SP over time and is manually triggered, with all levels needing 45 SP to proc. Level 7 starts with 19 SP and lasts for 31 seconds, while M3 starts with 25 SP and lasts for 35 seconds. At level 7, Executor gains plus 50% attack, and his attacks apply his subclass's trait, that being, he deals 150% damage to the front row to all enemies within his range, which is both rows. At M3, it's plus 70% attack. His second skill, Final Journey, gains SP over time and is manually triggered. Level 7 starts with 29 SP, needs 74 SP to proc, and lasts for 17 seconds, while M3 starts with 35 SP, needs 70 SP to proc, and lasts for 20 seconds. At level 7, his normal attacks hit twice, and his attack interval is shortened to 1.5 seconds. At M3, his interval is shortened to 1.3 seconds. Executor has an RPR-X module, named Executor Satchel, which makes it so that he deals 160% damage to enemies in the row directly in front of him. When a module level 3, Final Modification is fully upgraded, making it so that his attacks ignore 225 defense. He also gains plus 52 attack and plus 5 attack speed. To unlock and fully upgrade this module, you must have Executor at E2 level 50, have 100 trust with him, deal a total of 80,000 damage with your own Executor, 3-star stage IW-8 having your own Executor defeat at least 30 enemies, have 6 module data blocks, 20 data patching strips, 8 data patching devices, 3 solidified fiber boards, 4 polymerized gels, 5 grindstone pentahydrates, and 150,000 LMD. Executor is an interesting beast, since he's the first, or one of the first, of the spread shooter subclass, but was also released very early on into the game's life cycle. His primary function is to do tons of physical damage by bypassing an enemy's defense with his talent, and then either hitting them for 150 to 160% of his damage using his trait or his S1, or hitting them twice and more quickly with his S2. Altogether, this makes him very good at handling mobs of enemies, similar to ambusher specialists like Ethan and Manticore, but outside of that, he doesn't really have that much use in my opinion. A slow attack speed, even with his S2, means his DPS isn't as good as, for example, marksman snipers, and his short range means that he doesn't have the ability to pick off enemies from afar, like a sharpshooter or an artilleryman sniper. Chalter also exists and is significantly better, but she's also limited up. Medium-low priority to raise. Thank you for watching. Please follow my Twitter and Blue Sky for updates, and please check out my other Azure Lane and Uma Musume videos as well. Come back tomorrow for next week's character and story teasers.